consider taking advantage of Free Fishing Weekend. And with more, I'm happy to be joined by Jason Mannity with Getfishing.ca. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Get out your rod and reel, Free Fishing Weekend. So basically that means you can go this weekend without a license, but there are some rules that people have to keep in place. So what should they know before they head out?
Yeah, the big one is, make sure you're following the regulations. And what that means is we have limits out there on all of our provincial bodies of water. Like, for example, the lakes around Regina, you're only allowed to keep 4 walleyes, and they can't be more than 22 inches. I can't remember what that is in centimeters, but it's all in the regulations that you can find online at the Environment website of the Saskatchewan Ministry of the Environment. So that's the big one you have to do. And there's also special regulations too, like for example, Buffalo Pound Lake, you're only allowed to keep 10 perch, whereas other lakes it's 25. So nothing's going to ruin your day faster than if you get busted by the conservation officer who are just doing their job to protect our fish stock. So that's the big one. And obviously with the warmer weather we've had, just double check on the ice safety. We've probably got about 24 inches of ice, or about 60 centimeters. That one I do know. So it should be plenty fine for walking. But just, do your due diligence before going out, because when it's warm like this, conditions can change quickly.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with this heat up or warm up that we are experiencing. Okay, someone like me, I'm holding this right now. I don't even know if I'm holding this the right way. So everyone can go out and enjoy, but if I was going out and getting ready, how much would something like this cost me, and what would I need to kind of that baseline? Yeah,
that is a lighter outfit. That one's probably in the $40 to $50 range. So is this one. These are what I like about both of these, though, they're loaded with 4-pound test, but both are tough enough and beefy enough in here that they can handle a bigger fish. Like you could catch, if you play them right, a 10-pound pike on that thing, or a perch that's, half a pound. So that's what I like about both these rigs. So think of your budget in that $50 range, maybe $60 if you want to add a few lures to that and some bait. And as long as you have a way to get a hole in the ice or have a friend to cut a hole for you, you're good to go.
Yeah, very cool. And what can you expect to catch this year? What is out there? I mean, when you picture winter, unless you are an avid ice fisher, you might not know.
Well, there's, I like to call this time of year the mixed bag, because earlier and late in the season, you get a lot more walleye and bigger northern pike. Right now there's a fish called the burbot, and you can actually see it on the screen right now. They have a face I like to say only a mother could love. They're not the prettiest of fish, but they fight really well and they taste really, really good. And they're active right now in the middle of winter. But if you use the bigger lures and some of the dead bait on tip-ups, this is a whole topic for another day, then you can get into some bigger pike as well. And perch are still biting if you go with smaller lures like you have in that rod. And you can usually get walleyes too, but you may have to get out there early or stay late, sort of those lower light periods to get them to bite.
Very cool. And really quickly, just as we're wrapping up here, for someone like myself, if they're thinking, Free Fishing Weekend, this is a good chance for me to go out there and, get my feet wet, so to speak. What would be your recommendation if you are new at this?
I think the first thing you do is probably go into Cabela's or your local tackle store, whatever you might be in the province, and just throw yourself in their mercy in a way. But give them a budget first, and then say, I want to go out and I want to go fishing. And they'll be good to give you some tips, ice safety tips as well, they're usually pretty good at, and some fish location tips of what's biting, what's hot right now for lures. And that's a really good place to start to get you going.
Awesome. Some great tips. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us this morning, Jason. Again, Free Fishing Weekend goes this weekend from the 18th to the 20th. You can always find more helpful tips and ideas by heading to Saskatchewan.ca/fishing. You can also find information on Facebook and on Twitter. Thanks again, Jason.
You bet. Thank you.